DeepSeek R1 just changed the AI game overnight. It's not just another large language model, it's outperforming ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini on key benchmarks, and it's 100% free and open source. It's absolutely crazy. But here where it gets even madder. You can use DeepSeek to generate unlimited leads by using a combination of DeepSeek, Clay, and some fancy automations to build hyper-targeted leads for your business faster than any AI before. So no more wasting hours on manual list building. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how to automate your lead generation at an insane scale using DeepSeek and a few other powerful tools. Okay, so let's get into the video. So what is DeepSeek? Now, DeepSeek R1 is an open source large language model designed for advanced reasoning and problem solving. It was developed for less than 6 million at a fraction of what OpenAI and Google spent on their models. And it's now, or at this very moment, it's the most downloaded AI app on the App Store, literally within days, surpassing the likes of ChatGPT, which is massive. But the kicker, the one thing that makes this so significant is it's free, which is absolutely crazy, right? I've been spending $20 a month and, hundreds of pounds on API calls every single month for ChatGPT when DeepSeek are basically giving everything away for free, and it's open source as well. Now, most AI models use supervised fine-tuning, and this is where humans provide labeled data to actually train the models. Whereas DeepSeek R1, it uses self-reinforced learning, allowing it to improve through trial and error without direct human guidance. And I assume this has contributed to the massive decrease in terms of how much it costs to actually train the model in comparison to the likes of ChatGPT and Gemini. Now, some key features. It has stronger performance in mathematics and reasoning than other models. It has improved error correction. It has internet search integration, local deployment for privacy as well, so you can deploy it locally on your devices for free. Ridiculous. Now, here are some benchmarks as well, comparing it against some other very popular models. Now, you don't have to sit and take notes with a notepad or take screenshots. I'm actually going to provide you this whole document, this whole Gamma doc for free. I'm going to link it in the description, as well as all hyperlinks and templates that I'll be showing you later in the video. But you're here to generate leads. Now, how are we going to do that? First and foremost, I need you to set up your own DeepSeek account. Relatively easy. All you need to do is go to deepseek.com. Due to high demand at the moment, email signups can take quite a long time to receive the verification tokens. So what I'm talking about here is when you manually put in your email and then you create a password and so on to send that verification code or verification information to the emails, taking quite some time because of how much traffic that they're getting at the moment. So what I advise, just use Google. It's going to be faster and it's just like a few clicks and pretty much you've got an account. Then perfect, we've got a DeepSeek account and now we can start generating the leads or starting that process. Now, what we're going to be doing is building a list of local companies. We're not even like this method, it's universal. You can use it for companies online. It's any company that exists on Google or is searchable on Google, which is pretty much all of them. Every company should have some form of presence on Google on the internet. So as I said, it's universal. But for this example that I'm going to be showing you in this video, it's going to be focused on local based businesses. Now, to start building the campaign and building the search term, the search query, first we need a list of locations. Now, for this example, we're going to be focusing on the states and we're going to be targeting the top 20 biggest cities in every state. So there's 50 states in America, and we're going to do 20 cities per state, which means that we're going to get 1,000 different search queries or 1,000 different locations. Now, to do this, what I had done previously is I wrote this prompt, I put it into DeepSeek, and it generated me every single state and the top 20 cities in each state. Now, you can copy this prompt and put it into DeepSeek, and as I've done here, just as an example, and it's going to list out every single city. But if you're lazy, I've already done it for you, so you can access this list. And this list, as I said, I'm going to link it inside the Gamma doc, so you don't have to worry about searching and scrabbling for it. Everything that I cover in this video is going to be all inside the Gamma doc, which I'll share in the description. Okay, perfect. We now have our list of locations, which is amazing. What is the next step? Now we're going to look for a search term. Okay, so we're going to look for a niche or a popular search term for a specific niche. So I've actually written another prompt. Aren't you guys so lucky? That to put into DeepSeek. And what it's going to do, based on the service that you're providing, or based on the niche, it's going to generate you some popular long tail keywords that people are typically going to be searching for in relation to that niche service, or in our case, it's our target, right? So, for example, if you were specifically provide marketing solutions to divorce lawyers, in this prompt where it's a service, you're going to put divorce lawyers. Sorry. If you target med spa providers, you're going to put med spa, or massages, or best place to get massage, and so on and so on. For the example in this video, though, we're going to be using dentistry as the example. Now, this is optional, right? You don't have to use these specific search terms, but it gives you a good idea of what to search for. Now you're probably thinking, okay, fantastic, David. We have our search terms. We have our location-based data. How are we going to actually generate leads at scale, unlimited leads at scale? Because, Google search is very, very manual. Typically, traditionally, like you see a lot of gurus teaching this kind of strategy. What they'll do is they'll put the location data and the search term into Google and search. Now you have a list of all of these different divorce lawyers, or even let's just do lawyers, see what comes up, see if any kind of location based. Yeah, there we go. Now we've got Google Maps, which is what we're going to be scraping. Now, typically, as I said, a lot of gurus, what they're going to teach you to do is do this Google search. Now you've got all of this list. You may want to scrape it with Instant Data Scraper. You may want to just manually call them one by one. Look, that is all great and it does work. It's hyper manual, and in my opinion, it's a waste of your time. Instead, what we're going to use is Clay. Now, Clay is a RevOps platform. It allows you to automate kind of revenue related operations. So we're talking list building. It gives you access to so many different data providers. It integrates directly into CRMs, dialers, cold email sequences, and so on. It's very, very powerful. And we're going to combine Clay with a software called Serpa.dev. I'll talk about that in a second. But if you don't already have a Clay account, obviously you're going to just sign up. Relatively easy. You can sign up with Google. If you already have an account, just simply log in. Now, what you're going to do next once you've created an account is you're going to click here within this document, and it's going to direct you straight to a template that I've already built. And that is basically where the magic's going to happen. And that's where we're going to start scraping Google and programmatically searching Google at scale. Now, what does that mean? Now, when we're programmatically searching Google, it's pretty much what I did earlier, right? I searched the location and I searched the query that we're going after. In this case, it was lawyers. I pressed enter and it gave us that Google Maps data. What we're going to do, instead of me doing it manually, you doing it manually, we're going to get this software, which is .dev, sorry, to do it for us automatically at scale. We're talking thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of Google searches automatically that we don't have to do ourselves. We're then going to use Clay to capture that data, that Google Maps data, and then we're going to use it to enrich, find contacts, and so on and so on and so on. So let's get into it. So this is a table that obviously I've built prior to this video, but I just wanted to show you how it works. Obviously, I'm going to give you this as a template, so you can have access to all of this information. But I just wanted to show you first before you actually, do it yourself, so you have something to, go by. So first and foremost, the first thing that you do with this table is copy all of this data. You copy it all, and then you go back to Clay, and then you're going to paste it by clicking the first cell. So let's just do it now quickly. I'm not going to do it for real, but we're going to copy it. Go back to Clay, click the first cell, It's going to ask you paste and overwrite. You're going to click that. I'm not going to click that because it's going to reset my table, but that's what you do. Okay. Then for the search term, you're going to put the niche, industry, or target that you're trying to prospect, or that you're trying to get in contact with, or the list that you're specifically trying to build. So then what we've got a formula here, which is going to combine the location and the search term together, which gives us the query that we're going to use in the automated Google search. So dentist in Alabama, Birmingham. Nice and easy. Now let's talk about setup for the serper.dev. Okay. Now serper.dev, as I said, is a very, very powerful tool. They provide the API. You're going to use the HTTP API module or integration inside Clay. And this is going to allow you to interact with the API directly from inside the Clay table. The method we're going to use is post. We're going to use specifically the places system. Now inside Serper, there's so many different things you can do. You can do it by images. You can do it by Google Maps, which is basically places. You can do it by traditional search. You can do it by reviews. It's a very, very powerful tool. But for this example specifically, we're just going to do places. Then the query that the JSON structure that we're using is this. As I said, this is all going to be inside the slides on the Gamma docs. You don't have to worry about for the format. And you're also going to include your API key. Obviously, this is unfortunately not going to be inside the Gamma doc. I will be removing this, but this is what is going to allow us to do the programmatic search. And then you'd press save, and then you're ready to go. And then you would run some rows. Now this is great, right? Because for each search term, and in this table we have 1,000, you now get 10 places, which by my maths means that you get 10,000 and potentially different, there will be some duplicates, but you get 10,000 different results. Okay. Now that's all well and good, but currently it's unstructured. It's currently kind of like in a cluster, it's in a list. Now we need to turn this list into their own separate singular rows, because we need to start interacting with the data, making sure the company's actually what it says it is, and making sure it actually is a dentist within that area. So to do this, we write the table. Now this allows us to separate each list into their own singular items, and it's going to send it to the company accounts table. Now the idea here is that we then have all of the data that we need structured in a way that we can then start scraping, doing AI analysis, and so on and so on and so on. And we have so much data from the automated search. We have the title, which is in essence the company name. We have the rating. We have the address. We have the website, which I've then normalized. And we have the phone number. So at this stage, if you really wanted to, you could just get out a phone and start dialing. But we want to go further than that. We want to know who to contact and why we're going to contact them. And we want to make sure that they actually are, first and foremost, a dentist. Or in your case, whatever niche. So if it was a lawyer, you want to make sure they're a lawyer. So if you're enjoying this video and you're getting value from it, please like and please subscribe. I'll be posting a lot more content like this. So if you want to grow your business, stay locked in. Back to the video. Now, how do we do that? So we scrape. So what we do, once we've normalized the website, we scrape to actually make sure they are a dentist. Because we don't want to like email or cold call a company that's not within our ICP. It's a waste of time and a waste of money, especially because we're going to spend some money later in the video enriching and validating the leads and getting the mobile number. This can add up quite extensively when you're doing this at scale. We're talking tens of thousands. So we want to make sure that they actually are who they say they are. So we scrape the body. Then what we do is use DeepSeek's R1 advanced reasoning to tell us or make the decision for us whether they actually are a dentist or not. Now, this is the prompt that I've used. Once again, it's going to be all in the slides, but it reads, based on the information provided, confirm whether this company is a dentist or not. This does not include comparison websites. It has to be a company directly delivering dentistry related services. So this means that, like, for example, if they're a comparison site that's comparing dentists in the area, that's not what we want. It also means that if they're providing marketing for dentists, that's not what we want. If they're providing some sort of software for dentists, that's not what we want. We want companies that are directly delivering dentistry. Nice and easy. Then we provide it the context, which is the website body. And then if it is true, so if they are a dentist, if they're providing dentistry related services, respond true. And if it is not, respond false. Nice and easy. And then we have tick boxes, right? So if it's true, it's ticked. If it's false, it's unticked. Currently there's a filter on, but let me just turn this off so we can actually see that some are actually not and some are. There we go. So this is a false one. This is a false one, and so on and so on. Because although, like, yeah, they might be in the dentist industry, but that doesn't necessarily mean that they actually are a dentist. Perfect. Okay, so now we've built a system that tells us, without manual work, we've set this once. It allows us to scrape Google, search Google for a specific industry or specific service. It then scrapes the website, and then we've trained AI to tell us if they're actually the company that we want to target. Now, this can be done a million times, it can be done thousands of times, hundreds of times, how many times you want. But we've now developed a way to qualify the account at scale. So it doesn't matter if you're doing dentistry or if you wanted to do a sub niche within dentistry, like teeth whitening and so on, because that doing these variations will actually build you an even bigger list, because some companies are ranking for teeth whitening and not dentistry. So before you know it, you could be running this at scale, 50,000 leads, 100,000 leads across the states. And you'll have a very, very well-rounded list that you know is definitely within the niche that you can service, which is invaluable. But with that being said, that's all fantastic, but these are just the accounts. Yes, you could cold call them and say, hey, dentistry, we provide this service, but I think it's 10 times easier if you have someone to be able to speak to, or call out, like, I want to speak to John. I want to speak to Karen, whatever their name is. Now, this is why we have the find contacts table. Now, obviously, I just want to show you how I've done this. So add enrichment. And then you would type find contacts right here. Nice and easy. You would save results in a new table. I'm not going to go through the whole flow, but I'm just going to show you how to set it up. You're going to do it by the normalized URL. And this is when you can get a bit more granular with your targeting. So you can say, I only want to speak to owners, partners, or C-suite, or you can get specific and say, I only want to speak to CEOs. And you can get very, very granular with your target. So if you do provide marketing service to dentists, if they do have CMOs, I wouldn't be sure. Local businesses, they have different kind of structures. They don't always have a CMO structure. Sometimes they may just, the owner is the person that's overseeing all of these things. So, but if they were to have a CMO, as someone that is potentially providing marketing service to them, that would be the great person for you to speak to. So you would target the CMO specifically. But I'm not going to go through all of it now because I've already built this previously. So once you've done the find contacts process, you will now have a list. And let me just remove this filter. You now have a list of people to potentially contact. You have their names, you have their surname, you have their job title, their location, the company domain, and so on. Now it's time to start finding. It's not empty. Now it's time to start finding their emails and any additional contact information that you may want. So for this, what we're using is Lead Magic. Now, Lead Magic is a data validation data finder tool. That's the best way I can describe it. They do so many things and very, very powerful. You can find company data, you can find emails, mobile numbers. And for this example, what we've done, we've set up Lead Magic to actively go search for the leads that were found. We want to find their emails. So we provided it with the full name and domain. And typically, how this works is it basically creates variations of the email. So if they are, let's just use my name for example. My name is David, and let's say I was a dentist. So, and the dentistry was called dentist.com. Yeah, nice, and very, very nice for like SEO and stuff, right? I'm sure I'd be rich if I owned dentist.com. I don't, sadly, but let's say if I did. Now, what Lead Magic is doing is creating variations. So the first variation it's going to try, or of my name that is. So the first variation it's going to try is David at dentist.com. If that doesn't come back valid, it's then going to try David Walker-Dobson at dentist.com. Then it's going to try d.walker-dobson at dentist.com, Walker-Dobson at dentist.com, Walker-Dobson d at dentist, and so on and so on and so on until it finds a valid D email. Obviously, there's a limit to it, because I'm going to keep going and going and going in. But the idea is that it's going to try different variations as many times as it can to find and source the email, as we have here. Then it's going to come back valid, and it's also going to give us the email. Perfect. Now at this stage, we can stop because we have everything that we need. We could then start emailing them manually, or we could put start a campaign inside Smart Lead. We could write copy and do mass emails, start generating warm opportunities that way. Or we could also do a cold calling approach and get their personal numbers. Once again, Lead Magic is a very, very powerful tool to do this, and it does it. I'm not actually sure how it sources the mobile numbers, but the point is that it does. But yeah, this is just a very, very powerful way to use DeepSeek, use automated tools, and use automation like Google search automation to generate unlimited leads. And the reason why it's unlimited is because, sky's the limit. There's so many different variations of search that you can do per industry. As I said earlier, dentistry is so broad. There's so many things because it's orthodontists in specific area, dentists in specific area, teeth whitening in specific area, veneers in specific. Like, it's so big. So before you know it, although we're limited to 1,000 different search terms, because there's, I don't know, let's say 10 different search terms per industry that are potentially relevant to the service or to your target, you end up with hundreds of thousands of different accounts, and I can say easily multiple hundreds of thousands of different contacts to contact. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. As I said, I will be leaving the link to the slides in the description, and you have access to it and you can play around with it. You have the clay templates, the leads, the queries, and yeah, thank you for watching. Love you lots.